Hey friends, Stephen Michael Miller here. And today's morning momentum is all about growth through learning. And, Napoleon Hill talks about specialized knowledge a lot. And this concept of specialized knowledge is one, obviously, it's good to know a lot of great things. It's good to be well rounded, I think, in a lot of ways. But if you've ever heard the old, saying that, it's better to be a master of something rather than a jack of all trades. I'd rather be a master of one thing rather than a jack of all, and that there's some really good truth to that. I being in the financial space that I have been in for the last decade or more, I actually was in real estate for a long time for about, oh gosh, a little over a decade. Yeah, I was in real estate pretty heavily. I built a real estate company with a few friends of mine, and we did thousands of property transactions all over the nation in some of the best markets in the nation. As a matter of fact, when the markets crashed in 2007 and 8, uh, our group jumped into some of those markets, and we bought up a ton of homes with our clients, and a lot of our clients saw some pretty amazing results. Um, but uh, that kind of information is information that you don't really learn in schools. You see, in school, they teach us to go along a very specific path and pattern, and it's this. I'm not here to knock school necessarily, but I am here to be a proponent for ongoing learning, specialized knowledge, and making sure that you're getting outside of kind of that little box that oftentimes we're put in. You see, because we've been taught to go along a very specific path in life. We've been taught to go to school and get a degree. I mean, just think about this for a second. If you ever were told by your parents to kind of go along this same path, if they ever said this to you, you go to school and get a degree. Well, why do you get a degree? What's the purpose of the degree? The degree is there to hopefully help you earn more, right? To get you a little bit of a head start in life, I guess, so to speak. But that head start comes not now; it comes after you've gone through school. And that schooling could be an extra 4 years after high school. Maybe it's an extra 6 years after high school. Maybe it's an extra 8 to 12 years, depending on what you're looking to do with what you're learning. But you're taught to go to school, you get the degree so that you can get a job. And if you're like 97 or 98% of the world, when you get that job, it oftentimes has nothing to do with what you studied in school. There's no relation there. Again, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer, and that's specifically what you're going after, and of course, there's a few others, then you're probably not using your degree. Which means you get a job, right? And your degree, in some cases, may help you get a little bit of a higher placement. Maybe instead of coming at entry level position, maybe you're a mid entry level position or something like that, and so you're able to get in a little higher, a little better money, and you work, and you go to work day in and day out for the next 30 or 40 or however many years, and the goal is at some point, right, you work long enough and you kind of work yourself up the ladder in that company that you're working for. Usually you're switching jobs from one company. Most people don't just stay in one company anymore, right? But you're working your way up the ladder, you're gaining skills, you're improving yourself. And the hope is that you work long and hard enough that you'll be able at some point to enter this mystery realm of retirement. And it's so funny because retirement, most people have no idea what retirement is supposed to look like. They have these hopes and dreams and things that they've thought about. They'd like to retire on the beach, or they'd like to you know be able to travel a lot and go see family and friends and exotic places. That's what I think a lot of people hope retirement is going to look like, but most people don't really plan for a real retirement. All they're doing is kind of going along this path that they've been told to do. They go to the school, they get the job, they work their way up, and then they at some point retire. Along the way, of course, they're buying the home, they're buying the cars, and they're trying to put their kids through college and school because they were told to do that. So they want to do the same thing for their kids, and they're doing all these things based on a generalized kind of knowledge and a very kind of systematic assembly line type of learning approach. And in my travels around the world and speaking with thousands of people all over the nation and all over the world, that plan just doesn't typically work. I mean, it's crazy because most people are on that plan, but when they get to this kind of end spot over here that looks like, or supposed to look like retirement, it looks nothing like what they had hoped it would look like. And the reason why it looks like nothing like what they had hoped it would look like is because instead of creating their financial plan, instead of getting out there and getting the knowledge that they needed for it, they kind of just fell into that assembly line and just allowed themselves to be kind of drugged through the assembly line. And they weren't consciously getting after what they really wanted by learning the things that they needed to know in order to do those things and to really pluck themselves out of the assembly line and learn that specialized knowledge that would get them there even sooner. So truly, that plan doesn't work. In order to really get yourself outside of that normal scenario, we have to do things differently. You have to be willing to learn every single day. Learning doesn't happen in schools. At least, learning does happen in school, but the learning that we're talking about doesn't happen in schools. They don't teach you in school how to create and sustain a really great business. They don't teach you really in school how to network appropriately, how to gain friends, how to have influence and win influence. They don't tell you in school how to overcome some of the biggest trials and challenges, and they don't tell you in school how to become financially stable and build an empire for yourself. Those things are just not taught in school. And so if they're not taught in school, well, then how do you learn them? And how do you get past that kind of assembly line mentality, and how do you start doing something different? Well, really, the best way to do that is to go and seek out mentors and people who have been there and done that before. People that have experienced the results maybe that you're looking for. People that have written about it, that have talked about it. Man, we are in a day and age where information and learning is so readily available, but so few of us really take advantage of it. And I've got a couple books here that I kind of have in my backpack that I take everywhere I go. And these are books that I've really come to love, and I study and read at different times. This is one of the books that I love. If you have never read Think and Grow Rich, my recommendation is pick it up and read it. This is a copy that my wife got me, this little kind of gold looking copy. It's really fun. I love it. Anyway, Napoleon Hill talks about a lot of the topics that are really prevalent in the personal growth, business growth world. Talking about desire and faith and that specialized knowledge, auto suggestion, all these different things are things that Napoleon Hill talks about. By the way, how does Napoleon Hill know these things? And this book, I don't remember the exact year, but this book has been around for a long time. It was written. Where is it? I think it was in the 37. Yeah. First published in 1937. So this book has been around for a while, and the concepts have been universally accepted in the personal growth and business growth world. I mean, it's pretty tremendous. Again, if you haven't read it, do pick that up and read it. Another book that I've got here is one from Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is a huge name in the growth and personal development industry. He has done seminars all over the world, but this book by him on goals, how to get everything you want faster than you ever thought possible, is another great book. Learning how to set and achieve goals is going to help you to get to your big desires even faster. And most schools, most kind of traditional lines of education don't really teach you how to set a goal and accomplish that goal. And so these are the learning principles that although they've been around for a long time, most education systems don't focus on those things. They don't teach you how to meet somebody and become their friend, how to serve them and bless them, so that at some point in your life, maybe you can call upon them as well to help you if you're in a need, in a pinch, or you have a need. I've talked to my children, and my wife and I. We actually homeschool our kids, and when they get to a certain age, they can then choose if they'd like. Usually when they get to about junior high age, they'll go back to school, and they'll go kind of half time to school and half time at home and do some online stuff as well. And it's really opened up a huge opportunity for us to be able to teach them things that they're otherwise not going to learn in school. And that's been really good and important. And I've had conversations with my kids where I've told them, college can be great. It can actually be one of the best experiences of your life if you take advantage of what it has to offer. And in my opinion, if you go to college and you go there with the attitude of, yes, I want to do as well as I can in my different classes, but more so, I'm going to go to meet people. I'm going to go to meet people and serve people. I'm going to join every club. I'm going to get into the student government. I'm going to network and gather my tribe and my friends all around me. If that's kind of your purpose of going to college, honestly, that's probably going to be better for you than whatever it is that you were studying. It's not what you know, but it's who you know. You've probably heard that before, and that is so very true. So make sure that every single day you're taking time to learn. You're taking time to grow. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you know it all, man, get out of that. Get out of that state as soon as you possibly can, because you get to the point where you know it all. That's when you're going to stop learning. Right? If you know everything already, if you got that, if you say those things to people, oh no, I already know about that, or I already read that, then you're probably gonna halt your growth, and you're not gonna have the success that you really want. So every single day, make sure that you're learning. Pick a good book, whatever that good book may be. There's a million great books out there that you can learn and grow and experience things from, that can help to shift the way that you think. And if you can shift the way that you think, then you shift the way that you speak. If you shift the way that you speak, you'll shift the actions and the things that you do. And that's what starts to build the character of who you really are, that affects all of the outcomes in life. So my challenge for you today is to learn something new today. And whatever you learn today, whatever it's new that comes your way, I'd love to hear about it. Go ahead and comment below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and to get notifications when new videos come out. We get a new video every single weekday, and we'd love to have you on with us. Thanks so much, and have a fantastic morning, fantastic day. And this is Stephen Michael Miller with your Morning Momentum. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.